Welcome mateys to a new custom vertical arcade build. In this video I'm going to show you my wall-mounted pinball versus arcade CoinOps build. Special thanks to Retro Ralph for inspiration. Before we get started, tap the like button, knock out the subscribe button, and flick the bell for future content notifications like this. Arrgh. Just like before, blueprints of the build will be provided below. I started the build with a metal frame that can hold a 32-inch TV. I purchased the frame from an old Tiger Direct display when they closed down all their stores a few years ago. Before you start putting together an arcade build, make sure you cut the side panels for your T-molding. It will be a nightmare later in the build if you don't. I screwed both side panels to the frame. I made sure not to have the screws penetrate the MDF all the way through. Want both sides to be nice and smooth like the deck of my ship. I used inside corner braces for all the front panels. See link below. After getting the build to this point, I used a template to mark the holes for the arcade stick and the buttons. See link below for template. Mounted the TV with a piece of MDF board and corner braces. After figuring out the location of your TV, I would recommend removing the TV afterwards. Going to be a little messy after this point. Cut out a piece of acrylic for the joystick and buttons. Be careful at this point, depending on the thickness of the acrylic, it can crack. Acrylic is not cheap. When drilling out the holes for the joystick and buttons, set the drill to run backwards. This will eliminate the drill bit from catching and cracking the acrylic. Drilled holes for my control buttons, flipper buttons, nudge buttons, speaker holes, and amp. I use standoffs for the mounting of the motherboard and zip ties and screws for the rest of the components. Wired up the joystick, all the buttons, and speakers. Make sure to zip tie all your wires. For the back door of the case, I installed a male power socket, push and pull computer fans for the ventilation. A video on how to connect a male power socket to a power strip provided below. Installed an RBG silent CPU fan. The old stock fan was crazy loud. Painted the whole arcade with a matted black finish. Used a rubber mallet on the chrome T-molding. Make sure to cut the T-molding for the corners. See link below for instructions. Pull the plastic protective film off the T-molding after hammering it on. Installed RBG lighting strips around the corners of the back of this arcade case. Use 2x4 wood and 55-inch TV mount to hang this beast from the wall. Make sure you mount the arcade on studs in the wall. This build weighs 70 pounds and can rip right out of the wall. And that's about it. All the blueprints and part lists provided below. Going to provide another video on how to install the pinball versus arcade CoinOps front-end software. We'll also show you all the ins and outs of setting up all the buttons and the mapping of this front end. It's one of the best front ends I've ever seen for a virtual pinball vertical build. Until next time, buccos, this is the Arcade Pirate sailing out.
Show you, kid. I'm a crack shot at this. No, this can't be happening. I'm afraid it is happening, Marty. All of it.